So this is my secret to being happy in college. Now, I chose this video when I'm very tired because that's how you are in college. So let me get to it. College can be really fun or it can really suck. And the reasons it can really suck are obvious. You're spending a lot of money, probably going into debt in order to possibly have a career in the future. The cost of failure is very high. You could end up in debt without anything to show for it. So how can you somehow make this fun? Well, I'm going to tell you. So the first thing you have to do is realize that you're kind of on your own. Now, this is going to depend on who you are and where you are in life as to how you will ascertain this. But the basic thing is that this is a big test in your life, and if it doesn't go well, your life might not go well. It's a scary thing, and it's scary for everyone around you. That's the next thing that you need to realize is you're in a very scary situation, but everyone else is scared too. So here's the secret to being happy. You are going to be taking courses with the same major as you, or very similar majors as you, basically. So you have to do something I know is a little scary, and that's talk to people. Now, before you just turn this video off, just listen to me. You might be really introverted. I myself am an introvert. I don't normally talk to people. I am not the type of person to just talk to random people. But this situation is a lot different. And the reason why it's different is because these people are similar to you. Now, that was hard for me to get through my head because when I went to high school, that was not normally the case. But here it is, because the people that have chosen the same or similar major to you, that actually says a lot more about you than you might think. And if you give it a chance and actually talk to people, you might notice that this is different. This is a different game, and these people are a lot more like you than you thought. Now, there's several reasons they are. The first one, if you're just starting, is that you pick the same major, so you have some similar interests. But there are some bigger ones. That is that they are scared like you are, and they want to have a good career like you do. And they are trying to figure out how to make that happen just like you are. So there are several situations you can have. The first is what I just said, that you're first class in the whole thing. And there you have something to talk about, right? Not just the interests, but the drive to do it. But it gets a lot better than that. So what if that person hasn't taken a class that you have? Well, now all of a sudden, you have a lot of information that they could really use. You may have struggled through that class, and all you'd have to do is take like a half an hour and talk to them about how that class went and what you had to do, and all of a sudden, you just calm their minds quite a bit, and you made an ally. Now, another way it could go is that it's the opposite, that they have taken a class that you are about to take or are taking. And that is when you might ask for their help. Of course, in this case, you have to not be too needy, right? But you can at least ask them about it slowly and, ask what they would do. Now, there's something that happens when you do something like this. You form bonds, and especially if you're the person doing the helping, you very quickly form allies. And that is something that you need in college, in my opinion, or at least you should have. If you're just going this on your own, that's not a whole lot of fun. Now, let me preface it with this. Your college has a cheating policy, and don't break it. I'm not telling you to break it, but study it, look at it, and figure out what you can and can't do. Obviously, if you just give them your papers to turn in, that's not going to work out, right? Someone's going to get in trouble, basically. But you can work together to make someone's life easier. And we're going to build upon that here in a second. So do that with multiple people. You can talk to them now. You should realize that they are kind of looking up for something, some kind of help, right? That we're all scared here. We all want to get through this, and we're looking for ways to get through it. So one of the best things you can do is form some kind of group. Now, when I was in college, and it wasn't that long ago, we're talking like 2016 to 2018, 2019, we did a Facebook group. And I know Facebook's kind of outdated, whatever, but do a Discord or something. Make a group. You've made this friend, you've made this ally, you've worked together, make a group. and pull more people into this group as you do the same thing. Because I'm kind of a helpful person, and this is why it worked well for me, that when I heard someone was having a struggle that I had last semester, and they were like having a hard time, I'll put it that way. They were about to form ulcers the way I was, because they just couldn't figure out what was going on in the class because the professor didn't make it clear. I just couldn't like let them go through that the way I did. You know, I'd have to like help them out a little bit. That kind of goodwill goes a long way, and it can go both ways and will go both ways. So form kind of a group where you do this with multiple people. Once you have like 2 or 3, you'll start to notice that people start to talk to each other, and all of a sudden you have sort of a group of friends. And here's the thing about, you know, what makes you happy in life. You might think it's, you know, having good times and watching good movies, but the truth is, there really is nothing better than struggling for your life together. And you might think you already know that because you were on the rowing team or something like that, but this is different. You know, this isn't about fame or notoriety. This is about getting out and not having a whole ton of like loans to pay off without a degree. This is your life here, and everyone else sort of realizes that. So if you can get yourself into a situation like that, it's actually somehow really fun. All of a sudden, you're not just working for yourself. You're not just trying to make your own life work and struggling at it. All of a sudden, you're in it together. You know, you are with your friends and you are trying to find a way to make it out together. And that is so much more fun, guys. There is nothing more fun than struggling as a group when the stakes are so darn high. So my advice is talk to people. I know that one's hard, especially for introverts. I understand, but believe me, it's worth it. And chances are most of the people are like you, and you know, anyway. And beyond that, just find those things where you're lacking and they're lacking and help each other. And then form a group of some kind. I would probably recommend a Discord server these days. It's probably the best way to go. And you can just constantly help each other with stuff. You know, again, not cheating, obviously. Don't just share assignments. Look at your university's policy on what you can and can't do, and do that. Talk to each other about tests. You know, someone's going to take a test and you took it last semester and you remember kind of, right, how hard it was, how bad it was, what to expect, what not to expect. Talk them through it, and they'll do the same for you. And that, to me, is what university should really be about. Because what I've seen in the workplace is, you know, it's one thing to be really good at what you do, right? It's great, and it is necessary. But what's more important somehow is the ability to work with people and to struggle with people, to be in situations that maybe aren't fair, that make life difficult for all of you, and to know how to cooperate and work with those people and have a good attitude about it. So if any university has an issue with my kind of view on college, I think they're wrong. I think the best thing that college taught me was how to work with other people, how to empathize with other people, and how to work as a team together to be better than, you know, each of us individually. So I hope this helped. Have a good night.